Hello, Sophie here. So as I was going over the art I made last month, my process videos and works in progress, this piece really stood out to me. I spent February exploring different ways of creating color palettes and how a specific color palette can influence my art and my workflow. And this ties in really well to that, so I wanted to share. So I started painting this piece, didn't really like it. Then I restarted it and got something that I adore. It almost shocks me how much I prefer the second version, especially since I use the same painting method for both of them. So in trying to find what the difference was, the only change that I can see has to do with the color palette. For the first draft of this pop-up card, I added colors freely from the whole grease pencil color palette. I really didn't give it much thought, and in looking at it now, I can see that the result is rather cool toned, cool greens, and there are blue brush strokes on the yellow petals. But then at the same time, I also started working on the backside of this pop-up card, so I wanted to recreate an illustration that I found online. It's in the public domain, so we're all good. For this too, I added colors freely, but the result is so much different. It's so much warmer, the yellows are more orange gold, and it all feels more cohesive. And I ask, why? Why? What is the difference? Didn't I do everything the same? I thought I did. And my theory? Different base colors. So here are the two pop-up card versions minus any paint strokes. Basically, I used the same paper texture as a base for all the pop-up elements. So I just hid all the materials except for this paper texture material. And you can see the textures are the same, but they are tinted different colors depending on the version. And this is actually a grease pencil setting that I've been trying to embrace more and more. Use lights. This can be found in the layer properties to affect specific layers, or in the object properties affecting the grease pencil object as a whole. For a long time in my journey of using grease pencil, I would turn this setting off by default, figuring, well, I don't use any lights in my scene, so why would I use the setting use lights? But it's not only lights that can affect the color of grease pencil objects, it is also the world color. This is a setting in the World Properties tab, so notice how I can change it and have it affect all the colors except for this bottom texture. For this bottom texture, I unchecked use lights just to show the difference. So to have the world color affect your scene in render view mode, the default world color settings don't quite work how I wanted to, so I basically just uncheck use nodes, and this works perfectly for me. With this setting enabled and with a warm background color, I was able to restart a piece that I wasn't happy with and almost immediately get something that I love. I didn't change anything else about my process. This was the only thing I did different. So what I'll try to do is I'll create a base layer of colors on 1 to 2 layers which do have use lights enabled. So these will be tinted that world color and they'll kind of be more cohesive as a result of being tinted by it. And then I will paint and render with brush strokes on a new layer, and on this one use lights will be not enabled. That way I am able to add colors without having them be tinted by my background color, especially useful if I want to add higher, like lighter colors. I wouldn't be able to get any lighter colors that are lighter than my world color with use lights enabled. So I'm able to get the best of both worlds, adding color freely, but also starting from a cohesive color base very easily. And that is the results I found. This was so much fun to analyze and to share. Like, truly, I didn't know what I did differently to get such vastly different results, and that's why it can be such a good practice to go back over your process, whether that's previous save files, works in progress that you've rendered and like keep in a folder. That's what I often do. Or if you record your process, it can be really helpful to have this archive to go back over and try to identify what worked and what didn't quite work. And I just want to add that this video concept actually was first posted as a blog post over on my Patreon. So if you'd like early access to stuff like videos, what I'm learning, real-time process videos like the footage creating this piece that I talked about in this very video, maybe consider becoming a patron. I really appreciate all the support over there and on Gumroad. I also post process videos to my Gumroad if that's more your cup of tea. But if you just want to watch my videos and engage with my content, that is awesome, and I am so glad that you are here. Like, subscribe, consider following me on other platforms. I am Sophie Jantek pretty much everywhere. All right, I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.